Good evening, everyone. This is the Mycological Association of Washington, D.C., MAWDC. My name is William Needham. I'm the president. And I'm going to go through about 5-10 minutes of meeting notes and some fungi in the news. Then we're going to have our first presenter on morel cooking. And then our 4-H chair, Mitch, will talk about some local mushrooms. And then we'll go to our program for the evening. All right. So you're wondering what all this is. I was driving down Route 270 about 3 weeks ago. I did not take that picture. My wife did through the windshield of my car. That's a U-Haul truck. I've been looking for this U-Haul truck. It's the one from Michigan. And you'll notice on the side of it, quite obviously, is this giant mushroom. And below it, it has humongous fungus. And Crystal Falls, Michigan, this single organism weighs 100 tons and spans 17 acres from a single spore 1,500 years ago. That's what it says on the side of the truck. And then it says, for more information about fungi, go to uhaul.com. So I did. And there's absolutely nothing on uhaul.com about fungi or anything else, but just to come on, I guess, to get you to go to the website. So, but it struck me, that's why I thought the Armillaria, or it's Armillella, you hear also, but basically the honey mushroom on the upper left is widely known, and this humongous fungus thing is kind of interesting. I think you're aware of the fact that the first, quote, large find was the one in Michigan, and that became the one that became iconic. But if you look at the upper right, there was an even larger one found in Washington, 600 hectares. That's roughly 1,000, 1,200 acres. And then even larger one in Oregon after that, 3.4 square miles in August. They may have found a bigger one now. I don't know that. I haven't looked at this for a while. But and the last thing I would point out, the rhizomes, or what they call shoestrings in the lower left below the honey mushroom, this is probably the world's worst pathogen, and it spreads by these rhizomes or roots, that's the kind of the Greek name for it, to basically take over forests, which is what's going on, of course, with these humongous fungus things. So anyway, look for the U-Haul truck. It's out of date, but it is sort of our truck, if you will. So here's the members of the board. You'll hear from well, Elizabeth is running the show. You heard from her at the beginning. Tom McCoy is the program chair. He'll be up to introduce the speakers. And Mitch Fournier, the 4-H chair, will be talking about mushrooms, and the rest of the members there. You can reach any member of the board by xxx@mawdc.org or info@mawdc.org or anything at mawdc.org, and I'll get it, but that's okay. And so the rest of the board members are there. So here is our agenda for through July. And of course, the first on the list is the one we have tonight. So some interesting stuff. We're going to be, kind of looking at morels for the March and April. So next month, we're going to do a panel discussion on morels, and then talk about cooking. And as you can see, we go into then a number of other rather disparate, credit to Tom McCoy for his creativity, everywhere from zombie ants to mushrooms in Mexico. As a note at the bottom, every program will include mushroom identification. So if you have a mushroom you find and you want to know more, to send a picture to the 4-H chair, 4A@MAWDC, and he will select it if this time of year there aren't many. And then it'll be part of the program, so you will get a chance to have your mushrooms identified. And on that note, here are just a few meeting notes. Next week, there's going to be a special training on iNaturalist presented by, well, Elizabeth Hargrave is sponsoring it, but it'll be by another person. I can't remember her name. It matters not. There will be an announcement that goes out. And this is to learn how to use it. We're going to have it. We're participating in the City Nature Challenge at the end of April. So this would be preparation for that. So if you're interested in iNaturalist, please join up to that. We've been talking about doing a morel foray, hopefully sometime soon. Mitch may address that when he talks. We added a mushroom ID feature to the website. So if you go to our website, you'll notice there's a toolbar across the top. There's a new one called Mushroom ID. It gives you some resources, books you might get, websites you might look at. There's the training video for Mushrooms 101 that Elizabeth did is on there. And then there's also provision for you to email questions to this group, a new group called identifiers@mawdc.org. So we don't guarantee anything, but we guarantee that we'll at least look at it, and hopefully someone will respond. And lastly, the Mid-Atlantic Mycological Conference is having a virtual meeting again. I bring that up because you can join that for free. It's April 17th through 18th. That's the website. So lastly, for me, 4 items that are newsworthy that came across my screen this month. The first one is this. I've been promoting eating mushrooms for a long time, even Agaricus bisporus, and this is from the Food and Nutrition Research. And the study was done eating just 84 grams, that's 5 white button mushrooms, really adds to your quality of food. Potassium, copper, selenium, vitamin B12, B2, without adding any calories or adding any fats or carbohydrates. So they're promoting it as a good food just for health, without any other taste or any other reasons. And we all know they are also quite good to eat for other reasons. The second item there is one of our notable poisonous mushrooms is the Gallerina. And this is an analysis of and Gallerina is not, it's a fairly large genus with about 300 some odd members, and only a few of them are poisonous, but they have the same toxins that the deadly poisons do. And this particular article talks about it gives the amounts of amatoxin there. You can see it 78 to 244 micrograms per gram, which is pretty close to the Amanita phalloides. That's called the death cap mushroom. So it's quite dangerous. And in fact, this article talks about several incidents of people getting quite sick and not dying, but coming close. The third one is an interesting issue. Penn State, of course, is in Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania has the largest commercial crop in Pennsylvania is mushrooms, mostly in the southeast. And mushrooms create these phorid flies, which were never a problem as long as you could use the pesticide called diazinon. They got rid of that, so the flies were driving people crazy. So this article was about using this new product called Ecovia, which is some natural oil. So anyway, hopefully the people in Pennsylvania, and they were coming into Maryland apparently, this problem. I had not seen them, but I don't live up that far north. And lastly, I think the most interesting thing, we know that fungi are creative. How creative, I don't think we have any idea. So this was from the Plant Press, and it was about this, we have it's called yellow-eyed grass. We have it here. And this was in Guyana, and they found this fungus, and I'll show you the picture, that had mimicked the yellow-eyed grass. So that's the yellow-eyed grass on the left. That's the fungus on the right, attracting the pollinators to presumably fly into the mushroom and fly off with their spores. Now, I thought stinkhorns were pretty clever, but I think this probably takes the cake for a very clever mushroom, maybe coming our way. These came from Africa, by the way, and they named it Fusarium xynophyllum. It likes this thing. So that's fungi in the news. That's meeting notes. And our program for tonight, as I mentioned, is Morel Cookery by Albert Casciero. And I will now introduce our program chair, who will give a better introduction,